Hi everyone, how are you? Monica Shimonik here from Moms Unshackled. And for those of you who are not familiar with me, I'm a certified health and mindset coach, and I help moms who are struggling with equality and injustice build self-care and empowerment systems for themselves as they go through the family court. So today's topic, this whole week, the next couple weeks, I'm going to be talking about parental alienation. That's going to be the main theme, because I'm holding a workshop on Saturday, October 26th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. There is a link in the description on how to get more information on that workshop. I encourage all of you to come, moms, dads, even grandparents, whoever is suffering and having a lot of internal pain because of an alienated child, you're welcome to attend. You're going to get a lot of information in that link, so definitely check it out. So today's topic is, if you have an alienated child who is constantly rejecting you, I'm going to tell you, don't close up your heart. Do not close your heart to protect yourself from rejection. Okay? Listen on. I know this is unconventional advice. You do not need to close up your heart. A closed heart does not heal. You cannot heal a broken heart if your heart is closed up and stifled and like restricted and not and doesn't have any space, you know? So there are ways to help yourself without closing up your heart. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you to open your heart more, okay? You need to have the open heart so that your child can receive that love and come back and know that it's safe to come home. Now, when I say come home, I don't necessarily mean to your house. I mean to come home figuratively, okay? So we're going to talk about this. Now, me telling you this might raise some contradictory like instincts within you. You might be like, oh my God, like, why would I open up my heart? Are you crazy? If you have any sort of like, if you're having like, what's that word I'm looking for? Reservations about what I'm telling you, put it in the comments or send me a private message. I prefer you put it in the comments because I really like these open discussions. So open your heart. Stop protecting yourself from your child's rejection. Your heart is not something that needs protection from when it comes to your child, okay? What I'm going to encourage you to do instead is to grieve. Allow that grieving. You can't really grieve with a closed heart, okay? So opening the heart is going to create, it's going to be freaking scary. You're going to feel sick to your stomach. So I'm going to ask you to like just breathe through that. You can do this. You can lay flat on your back and put your hands on your heart, okay? I think it's a good idea to do this during meditation. If you don't meditate, I'm going to encourage you to try it. This is the thing. How do people start with meditation? How does the first time somebody meditates, how do they do it? They do it exactly the same way you're going to do it when you start meditating. Exactly. You're going to lay there and you're going to be like, nothing's happening. That's the point. So just do it. Like, the way to do meditation is to just do it. Okay? There's nothing. You don't even need an instruction manual. You literally just have to lay there. I lay down during meditation. I like to get a weighted blanket. So go ahead and like check out 20-pound blankets. Super, super amazing for meditation. But if you don't, that's fine. And lay there and do nothing. Think about nothing. Okay, that's meditation. So we're not going to get into that today, but if you work with me personally, like, I teach you all about that stuff. So so you can meditate and visualize your heart opening, your heart chakra opening. Okay, that's how you're going to get the healing. And I encourage you to grieve. Okay, so go ahead and let yourself cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel that burning pain. It's okay to hurt, but that doesn't mean you have to close up your heart. Okay, so now opening up your heart. So the second question I get a lot is, well, if I open my heart, my child's just going to keep rejecting me. Well, that's not necessarily true. You can't control what somebody else does. You're never going to be able to control whether or not your child rejects you. Okay, we can't control other people. So listen, the name of my workshop is called Be the Lighthouse. Okay, lighthouses are these tall houses. They emit beautiful, radiant light, and they send signals to whoever's lost at sea, like, hey, you're safe, you know, everything's good, you're fine. And it's up to the people who are lost at sea to figure out their own stuff, right? The lighthouse isn't going to go and rescue somebody. You've never seen a lighthouse just move and like find a shipwrecked person and help them. That doesn't happen. You're not going to be able to go to your child and make your child come to you. You can be the lighthouse and your child will naturally flow to you because you're open. Okay, we're going to get more into that in my workshop. Okay, so again, to get back to like the reservation that you might be having, look, well, if I open my heart, I'm just going to keep getting hurt. Listen, you're not giving away any power at all. You're not giving away any authority as a parent by opening up your heart. Okay, because you can detach yourself from their reaction. You can detach yourself from whatever they do. If they have a reaction because you tried to call them on their birthday, you can detach from that reaction because your responsibility is to do what is in alignment with you. If you feel like it's best to call your child because you want to, okay, because you get to do what you want in this life. Okay, if you want to call somebody, call them. It doesn't matter if they hang up on you or not, because the point is that you're calling them because you want to. That's what you desire. You might desire to call your child. Okay, go ahead and reach out. Have that open heart without expectations, without detachment on what they're going to do in return. Never base what you're doing on what somebody else is going to do. Your child's responsibility. Your child is responsible for their own reactions and their own, however they want to interpret anything. That's all on them because your child is learning. Okay, all this alienation stuff and all this court crap and the stupid therapist that they have to see and the narcissistic parent, all that is just it's a learning experience for your child. Okay, and unfortunately we have no choice but to allow that learning to happen, even though we don't like it and even though it is not good. You know, we still have to allow that. They're learning about the world. Okay, and so let your child learn. Let your child have their reactions and process the reactions and figure out how the world works. Okay, you can trust that your child is learning. Okay, so when it comes to like being like worried about their reaction and like worried about what they're going to say and like, oh my god, if I call then they're going to cut me off forever, I'm not yet blocked on Facebook, and if I call they're going to block me. So you're getting stuck in that monkey mind, which is like heavily attached to other people's behaviors. Okay, so don't let your monkey mind take over. Your behavior should be directed solely on your own desires and whatever you want to do. Because listen, nobody gets to tell you how to live your life. No judge gets to tell you how to live your life. Your ex doesn't get to tell you how to live your life. Your child doesn't get to tell you how to live your life. A therapist, a parenting coordinator, a custody evaluator, the police, nobody gets to tell you how to live your life. The only person that gets to make those decisions is you. So if you react to anything that your child does, or maybe the ex freaks out and sends you 25 text messages and then files a motion in court, anything, whatever happens, don't let your monkey mind dominate. Don't let your monkey mind now start getting, and then you're going to start reacting. Don't react to their reactions, because then you're just creating a chain reaction of reactions, and then you're just in this like cold, cold, damp, nauseous energy, and you don't want to be there. Okay, you want to be in a healthy, you want to have your chakras really nice and aligned. You want your heart chakra to be open. You want your heart chakra to be healed. And so you can detach from what other people are doing. Okay. Usually, though, that does require mentorship. If you want to learn more about this, definitely look into the workshop. Okay. There's one more thing I want to point out before I close, and that is there's one thing that you can do that might feel counterintuitive to closing up your heart. Okay, so I'm going to kind of contradict myself, but understand that these are actually two separate things. In fact, these are entirely separate. There's really no overlap. A lot of people think there's overlap, and that is boundaries and keeping your heart open. So a lot of times people think if I open my heart, I have to compromise my boundaries. That is not true. You can have super strong boundaries and a super open heart, and they can exist separately. And what I want you to do is when you start thinking like, well, if I open my heart chakra and I allow, I allow the forgiveness and the gratitude for my child, if I allow things in, then my child's going to hurt me, and then I'm going to be compromising my boundaries because I'm going to have to let that in. That is not true. You listen, I have an open heart chakra for my 2 daughters who are not alienated. They are 3 and 1. And when my 3-year-old disrespects me, I set down a boundary. My boundaries are here, and my love for my 3-year-old is here. They're not, there's no overlap. We collapse these domains, I guess you could say. We collapse these when we're alienated. It seems like when you're not alienated from your child, you could set boundaries and you could love them. You could welcome their love and forgive them when they do wrong, blah, blah, blah. But somehow when they're alienated, somehow we just bring these 2 things together, and that really doesn't make any sense. Okay, we're going to talk more about that in my workshop. So you can set boundaries. If your child is disrespecting you, ask yourself this: what would I do about this behavior if I was still married to the other parent and my child was doing this to me? What would I do? And you could have the exact same boundaries regardless. You don't have to change things just because you're divorced. That doesn't make any sense. I would never change my parenting style if I were to have a divorce. I would not do that. I parent one way, and if I'm not with the other parent, great. I'm still going to keep parenting you the same way. I think I covered everything, but detachment is a big deal. It's really hard to figure out. I don't think human beings can really ever master detachment. I think when you die, you'll figure it all out. But while we're living, because we have egos, we're human. As long as we have egos, which is permanent, we're gonna have attachment. So we have to really be conscious, like, oh, am I having attachment here? Do I need to protect myself from this behavior? Am I wrapped up in other people's behaviors? Am I stuck in like what my ex is going to do? Am I stuck with what my kid's going to do? Bring the attention back to yourself and what you personally desire. Okay, we're going to talk more about all this stuff. This is a big thing. I could easily talk about this for like 5 live streams. But tell me what you think about these ideas. Okay, I wish you all the best. And again, if you're an alienated parent, do check out the workshop. And I wish you all well. Okay, have a good night. Bye-bye.